some people, the debate over the removal of subsidy, over the hike of price of fuel or petrol, what have you, didn't just start yesterday or a week ago. It started years ago. Remember 2012 January when the then government led by Goodluck Jonathan planned to remove subsidy. There was a lot of protest on the street, but these arguments have gone on for several years. But a big question will be, is it the right time for the government of the day to increase the price of fuel? A lot of people have argued maybe they've also removed subsidies. Well, there's no subsidy captured in the 2016 budget. That's what some of the arguments are saying. But is it the right time to make the move that the Buhari-led administration made?
My answer is capital no. I am sure President Muhammad Buhari did not look at this matter or studied it very well. The Nigerian people, this is the only thing left for Nigerian people that he benefits from government. Nothing else.
What about kerosene?
This fuel.
What about kerosene?
Use it for kada, they use it for keke napep, they use it for other things, generators, small generators. That is the only thing you can hold today that the poor people, the oppressed, the suppressed people of Nigeria benefit from government. It has been removed. I am of the opinion that President Muhammad Buhari can on his own reverse this decision. We can look for money from other sources. It is not enough for us to say, okay, we have to increase pump price of petroleum products. The people are suffering it. My driver who came to pick me this evening said, sir, where I used to enter 100 naira is now 250. This is a driver, and it affects all of them. This is not the right time. The timing is wrong, the decision is wrong, and President Muhammad Buhari must show that all the people of Nigeria, particularly the downtrodden people of Nigeria, that he voted him into power, benefit from his government. One of the areas that they must benefit from is the reversal of this pump price of petroleum.
Chief Nwanyanwu, one would be asking that question. For example, if you were President Muhammadu Buhari, with the kind of situation that we find ourselves as a nation, paying over 1 trillion naira, that's some huge percentage of the national budget for subsidies, what would you rather do apart from increasing the price of fuel?
Look, that's why he has ministers. He has a Minister of Finance. He has Minister of National Planning. He has officers of government. They should put on their thinking cap and think of how to generate funds. Look, it is only in Nigeria that you sell a property for 4 billion naira. You go home with the entire money. It happens in Nigeria. You buy a property for 2 billion naira, 3 billion naira, nothing goes to government. It happens in Nigeria. But the governments will not do it because they are the people involved in all these transactions. So there are many ways government can make money. I don't have to sit down and enumerate it because of time.
Again,
it is not only
just
one
if I may quickly come in again, some people would say that would you rather have the price expensive fuel and available consistently, or have it cheap and never available?
Look, Shehu, I must tell you that the cabal are the beneficiaries of this. You saw how they all jubilated immediately the decision was reached. You have said, go and import if you can import. But you have to source your foreign exchange from secondary market. They don't print dollars in Zone 4 or in Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos. You said they should go to secondary market. I put it to you, Shehu, watch. It is not going to work. It will work temporarily. Look at how the dollar, the rate of dollar against the naira jumped up within 24 hours. It will go further up. They are telling us that it will come down. But we know Nigeria. Things don't easily come down in Nigeria. They go up. That is where the law of gravity doesn't work, that anything that goes up must come down. When it goes up in Nigeria, it remains there. Let President Muhammad Buhari use his executive powers and reverse this increase for the interest of those poor Talakawas, those poor Nigerians, those students, and those people who are not in a position to feed themselves, that voted for him into office.
Right.
I take exception to this increase. I will continue to go against it because I do not accept the argument that government has no business in government. Government has business in government. Even in America, certain things are subsidized. In Britain, certain things are subsidized. Those arguments should not hold water here.
All right.
Because
Just before we leave, just before we leave this issue, one will be wondering, in some other parts of the world, making comparison to how much petrol, for example, PMS is being sold in Nigeria, were perhaps the ones selling the least before this increase. Okay, I was asking you because if you look at some other countries, for example, some of those who are producers of crude, okay, we are perhaps one of the nations that is selling in the with the least of amount of money in the world.
I don't know if I got you right. You say we are selling the least. You say we are selling the least in the world.
We are one of those who are selling the least, comparing the price of PMS.
Okay, Sheung. What is wrong with that? God put that under our feet. He didn't make mistake. He put it there. He put it there for us to benefit from it, not for us to suffer from it. So government's duty is to refine it so that the people can use it. They should, in the name of God, drop this argument of importation. The more we continue to argue on importation, the price will continue to go up. Refine our consumption in Nigeria, and the price will go down.
All right, let's quickly move away from that issue to one of our major issues of the day, which is People's Democratic Party controversial convention and the leadership tussle in the party. You are a former chairman of a national chairman of a Labour Party. And one will be wondering, the crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party. We've seen Alhaji Babanga Tukur leave office in the manner in which he left office up to the moment where Alhaji Muazu also took office. And again, we've seen Senator Ali Modu Sharif. And what has happened right now? What do you think the PDP is going through?
Well, I'm not a member of the PDP. I am partyless, you know that, but I have to contribute my position on this. I think the PDP squabbles, quarrels in a political party is normal. But what is important is the way and manner you reconcile the problems. PDP lost power, and it seems to me that there is no leader that will coordinate the activities of the party. If it was when they had the president, all these problems would have been seen as a family affair. But now, there is no president, they are out of power, and certain people are trying to get the jugular of the party. So the quarrel in a party is normal. But what is not normal is when you bring about impunity or you go outside the constitution of the party or you do things that are untoward, that are those who are outside will even laugh at you. I think what has shown itself is that the PDP is going through, in my view, is going through reorganization. They have a convention, and the convention in Abuja and Port Harcourt, no matter how you look at it, it's like balance of top people of the parties. But I think the National Convention is in a position to resolve it. The National Convention of a political party is the alpha and omega of a political party. Its decisions are final. And the decision is not final because it's infallible. The decision is final because there is no other place you can go to. So when a National Convention of a political party has taken a position, that is it. That is it.
All right. If you look at the way, let me quickly ask you, the way and manner the two conventions have gone. One, they say they're not going to dabble into the issue of elections. But again, you look at the fact that there were parallel convention in court. But again, at the end of the day, there are court cases all over the place. And again, now we have a caretaker committee emerging. Do you think that the party is out of the woods now?
No. I think with the decision reached in both Port Harcourt and the Abuja conventions has given them the opportunity to bury their pride and come together and redirect the party. Unfortunately, the outgone chairman, in my view, postponed the convention very late. That press conference came late in the day, because the delegates were already there and the convention was already taken off. You see, in political party administration, you must understand when you have to leave. If you don't know when to leave, you will be disgraced out of the place.
Is that what is playing out in the case of Senator Alimadu Sharif?
The cause of the problem was zoning. Zoning. They have, according to their rules, zone presidency to the north, and as in practice, the other one will go to the south to allow sense of cohesion and sense of belonging. And that was the main reason why President Jonathan lost that election. He lost the election because the north felt that it was their turn to produce the president, and rightly too. So PDP swept it under the carpet, and they lost the election. So they should not go about to do other things that will get them out of power. But for the party in government, I'm sure they must be reading what is happening in PDP so that they can be adjusting themselves. So the outcome of the two conventions is an opportunity for them to put their acts together.
But is the party back on track right now with the emergence of the caretaker committee that will midwife a national convention that will bring about a new leadership of the party? Is it the right step to take? Is it the right direction to go?
In my view, I would say yes. Because the gentlemen in both sides of the divide, McCarthy and Mantu, are persons I am sure will not stick to any positions. So you can see, if they start discussing, I am very sure that all of them will give up and then go for proper convention. On the other hand, they had to pick carefully those who will not have that position get into their head, as it was in the last case. So that being the case, they have an opportunity to reconcile their differences. But to start arguing on the decision of the convention, you cannot challenge the decision of the convention of any political party. There is nothing under the sun that the convention of a political party cannot do as it affects the party. Once they have done so, that is the final.
All right, thank you so much, Chief Nwanyanwu, former chairman of the Labour Party, talking to us from our Abuja studio. Many thanks for talking to us on the program. We hope to have you back on the program some other time.